So when you have dents or damage to a hydraulic cylinder rod, you usually send it out to a hydraulic machine shop and they repair the rod by chroming. I don't know if that's brazing, welding, electroplating, but they pile up the chrome and then they supposedly machine it down flat. Now, I've sent several rods out for repair, at least 4 of them at 2 different hydraulic repair shops, and every cylinder rod came back unacceptable. I have a feeling the machining process is just some guy with bad eyesight and a die grinder. The repair areas were always too high, too low, or not even flat, like uneven. I discovered this repair method by accident. I had a customer who really needed the hydraulic cylinder fixed that it had dents on the rod. It was the weekend. If I was to send it out, these places take like at least a week to repair rods. So as a temporary fix, and I told the customer this is probably not going to hold up, I used body filler. Well, months and months later, it was still holding up. And as a matter of fact, to this date, which is 5 or 6 years later, it's still holding up. Since that repair, I've done at least a dozen rods the same way, either with body filler or JB Weld, depending on how large the hole is or the dent is. Alright, this is a really small cylinder. It's got a lot of little dings. This is not pitting from rust. It looks like it's been hit repeatedly with something hard. A lot of these dings are the same shape, so it's probably the same tool hitting this thing. This kind of damage leaves sharp edges sticking up that can cut the rod seal. Also, the pits create pathways for fluid to leak past the seal. So to repair this first, I'm going to file down the high spots with a fine file. I want to make sure that there's nothing sharp sticking out. Then I clean the low spots with a wire brush. If there's rust or dirt or oil in there, the filler is not going to stick and it'll eventually fall out. I know this is clean now because those spots were like brownish before, and now that they're clean you can see the silver metal underneath. Now I clean it with a strong degreaser. I usually use lacquer thinner. Acetone or brake cleaner are also really good degreasers. So on small holes or dents like this, I use auto body filler. On larger dents, you could use another epoxy filler like JB Weld. JB Weld is definitely stronger and you need something strong to bridge a large area, but the metal flakes in JB Weld aren't fine enough to get into tiny crevices and grab on. The solids in body filler, instead of metal flakes, it's a real fine powder, and that fine powder is good at getting into tiny little details and grabbing on. If you've never used body filler before, you have to mix in a hardener. You use about 5% hardener. And to estimate 5%, just imagine you split your glob of filler into 20 parts. One of those parts equals 5%. It doesn't have to be exact, it's pretty forgiving. You don't want to apply too much filler because then you'll have a lot of filing and sanding to do later. I wait at least 30 minutes before I sand. The longer the better. If it feels tacky at all, it's not ready. If you're using JB Weld, you'll want to wait at least 24 hours. If you sand JB Weld while it's still flexible, it'll peel right out of the hole. Once it's ready, to quickly remove excess materials, I start off with a file. Make sure you keep the file flat so it doesn't dig in the low spots. Then I use 600 grit sandpaper. If you're working with JB Weld on a large rod, you can start with 320 grit, and then you follow up with the 600 grit. Make sure you use something hard and flat as a backing for the sandpaper. I'm using the flat side of a file. And this is self-adhesive sandpaper. If you're not using adhesive paper, just wrap it tightly around the file. 600 grit seems to be good. You don't need to go any finer on the sandpaper. You want to give it at least another 24 hours before you actually put it to use. But after the repair, it should feel perfectly flat. You shouldn't feel the dents at all.